Blue Noses, Dan here. You join me in a very sunny and warm Gran Canaria. Of course, the other two out of the three Blue Boys, Dad and Joe, are back in the UK at the moment, where I do believe it is not the best weather, as is the case in the UK in January. If you haven't checked there already, their post-match reaction upload to yesterday's 1-1 draw back at home at St Andrews United Park against Stoke City. Make sure you do hit that bell notification button and give it a like as well, and subscribe, of course, if you're new to the channel. This is me really just giving my 2 cents on yesterday's 1-1 draw at home against Stoke City, and not to grovel at all, but obviously enjoying the weather here. Nice break. I'm here for the week, but like we're serving beer in plastic paper cups really just takes away from it a little bit really. I shouldn't complain too much, but anyway, really enjoying it here, and I probably need to get back on subject really, because soon I'm going to turn into a rep for the Gran Canaria Board of Tourism, but if there's anybody out there who would like sponsored content on the Free Blue Boys channel, make sure you do get in touch. Anyway, back to yesterday's game, the 1-1 draw against Stoke City. Obviously, not our best performance, probably average at best. I think we'd probably safe to say that it is. Obviously, we went in front just before half time. Well worked, beautifully worked actually. Set piece at corner, crossed in deep from Doyle over to the near side of the away end at the Gilmerrick stand, just for Stoke fans. Headed across the box by Joe Stansfield into the path of Tomoke and Wata, who turned a goalward. Well taken goal, obviously straight off the training ground, as they said on commentary as well. Something we haven't really seen much of this season from Blues, and surprising in a way that Stoke, as well as they do at set pieces, both attacking and defending, that was actually the way they were to concede. Credit where credit's due to Stoke though, they grafted, and a side that is depleted, as Dad mentioned in the post-match reaction upload video yesterday with him and Joe. They are depleted at the moment by injuries and fatigue as well, so well done to Stoke, and it's kind of a performance you'd expect from a Robins team really, to be fair. He knows the Championship well, he knows how to get teams playing and grind out results where it matters, but examining our performance from a Blues perspective at least, very average. We should have taken advantage more of the injuries, the fatigue that Stoke were feeling yesterday, the result of really, particularly as we got ourselves out in front as well and conceded with roughly only about 20 minutes to go plus added time was disappointing, and the very fact as well that Stoke total of 7 shots on goal and only 1 on target and still walked away with a draw. But then if you're bearing down on playoffs, particularly in this division as well, it's kind of what you're able to do really, particularly a Robins team, as I've mentioned before, they're known for that as well, and Stoke have done that a lot this season. And as we mentioned in our preview as well in the pod in the week, prior to yesterday's game, should I say, actually, against Stoke City, they've conceded the least amount of goals in this division, and they are a very good away side. They seem to be better away than they are from home, strangely. A lot of teams aren't like that. Well, God knows we're not very good away at all, but we are one of the better home sides in the division. I think it's only Coventry that better our record at home. Obviously, we've only lost once at home this season, but Coventry have picked up more wins than we have draws at home, so points on average at home were not as good as them. But anyway, it was a fixture. I was quite excited because I was excited for the test. Some of the new signings coming in. Obviously, Osman started yesterday. Looked impressive down the left-hand side, actually. Some creativity out there with Wagner as well, getting some good balls into the box. Seeing a side to a Chris Davies side we haven't really seen much of before, which was something I think a lot of Blues fans were glad to see. But again, I don't think we exploited that enough. I would have liked to have seen John Solis start, but heaven knows that Davies, as we know, has his favourites. He's not really likely to take pay cut of the team. I'd like to see maybe Solis and Doyle start in the middle. Doyle, speak of him actually, I agree with Joe in the post-match reaction video from yesterday that he didn't have a particularly good game for what I could tell. Obviously, just for full disclosure, as Joe mentioned, because it was 3 o'clock kick-off and not televised, and me obviously still travelling at the time, as it were, that the game was on, I wasn't actually able to see yesterday's game. So a lot of this is just post-match study of the game, people's reactions and highlights that I've already seen, as well as the game actually as well, and perspective of both supporters as well, and post-match reaction interviews as well from Davis and of course Joe Stansfield as well. I'd be remiss as well, obviously, if we didn't mention the significance of yesterday's fixture, obviously in remembrance of Arthur Lavinia Hughes, special little blue nose, and of course good to see Tomoki played tribute to him in his goal celebration as well, so big up Tomoki there, good lad. But otherwise, an average performance, something, as I say, we should have taken advantage of really from a depleted side, as it were, but we take it, I'm trying to take it as best a positive as I can really. It's another point on the board rather than a loss. It would have been nice to get 3 points, but I take it as it is, and we move on from there really, as we go into another away fixture to another struggling side, albeit they got a very good result yesterday away to Leicester, winning 2-1 I believe in Oxford United, as it were, a week Saturday. So it'll be interesting to see how we perform there. Obviously we've been doing better away recently, as it were. We're building momentum now, as Joe mentioned as well, and I think that's what it is really. And I can understand a lot of Blue Noses being disappointed at yesterday's fixture, as it were, saying we're not getting the points aboard. Davis isn't changing his approach very much, although it's minute in the way that it's changing, and I'm hoping the signings that we have made are going to change that, and we are going to see more creativity, more positivity, move the ball quicker forward, and moving it better as well, and creating more opportunities. And I think that is slowly coming to fruition now. It's slowly coming to the boil, as it were. So hopefully we'll see a bit more of that. Obviously we saw August Prisk get on yesterday, managed to get a shot on goal as well, but obviously he's just going to be getting a feel for the team and the league and the way that we play as well. Hopefully he'll get some more game time as well. Difficult to say where he's going to see that, as it were, because I think at the moment very much Dutch and Stansfield are a favourite of Davis, as it were. So it's difficult to say who you'd take out, if anyone of those two, as it were, whether you're just going to be bringing Prisk on as a sub. But I dare say you don't spend £6 million plus add-ons, 8 million total, as it were, on a striker that scores as many goals as he has, and assists and goals and involvements in total, and then not playing. I think if it was me, I think I'd probably be taking Dutch out of the side, just to see what it offers us in terms of versatility and capability up front, and see what kind of opportunities it creates really. So it'd be nice to see that. But of course, Dad and Joe will be back in the week with a podcast upload to preview our next fixture, as mentioned before, away to Oxford United on Saturday, and they will be back with post-match reaction, as unfortunately for me, is what it is, lads, isn't it? I'll still be in Gran Canaria. I guess most Blues fans will just have to make do with the tanning beds at home. And then, of course, I will be back for the week after pod to preview our next fixture after that. Back with Dad and Joe, and thereafter as well for post-match reactions. But of course, if you've enjoyed today's video, drop us a like. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and of course mentioned we not just do these post-match reaction videos, as it were, as you see yesterday from Dad and Joe, but we also do weekly podcast uploads as well, previewing games and talking all things Birmingham City, and just generally talking shit as well. So if you enjoyed today's content, as I say, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so you never miss one of our new uploads. But until then, Blue Noses, keep as warm and as sunny as you can, stay true to the Royal Blue, and keep right on.